So viewers, it is time for a new save and a new series, but with who, I hear you ask? Well, say hello, or bonjour, should I say, to Havre AC. How's it going, everybody? My name, of course, is Breezy. Welcome back to the channel. Now, if you're excited for the start of a brand new series, then make sure you drop a like on this video and make sure you're also subscribed so you don't miss another episode. So as I mentioned, we are now the manager of Havre AC in the second division of France, and what's special about this club is that they have produced some of football's best talents. The likes of Riyad Mahrez, Dimitri Payet, Paul Pogba, Steve Mandanda, and a whole host of others have come through the academy of this great football club, and it's going to be my job to get them to the top of the French division and to dominate French football. As you can see, though, the pre-season odds have us finishing 8th, so we clearly have a bit of work to do here. And we wasted no time in the transfer market with winger Quentin Cornet sold to Fortuna Sittard in the Eredivisie, as the system we're planning for does not really cater to wingers. Right back, however, was an area where I felt like we could do with some strengthening, and we identified Roland Hernandez from Atlanta United in the MLS and decided to bring him in on loan for the rest of the season. I also thought the squad was lacking some needed experience, so I've drafted in 37-year-old Stéphane Sessegnon. Yes, that's Stéphane Sessegnon. He joins the club on a free transfer. And given the overwhelming amount of central midfield talent within the squad, I thought it'd be best to go with a diamond system going into the new season with a regista sitting just in front of the back four. I mean, honestly, who doesn't love a regista? So we're through the door, we've met the players, they love me thankfully, we've made our own signings, built our own tactic, it is now time to kick off the league campaign and just see how far we can take Havre AC this season. Our first game of the season then saw us go up against one of the stronger sides in Ligue 2 in EA Guingamp, and we got off to a perfect start. On the hour mark, Jamal Thierry gave us the 1-0 lead, and this was later added to by captain Victor Lecao, who ran onto this lovely pass from Thierry to give the boys in blue all 3 points on opening day. Lovely stuff. Sochaux were up next, and we picked up right where we left off against Guingamp, as did striker Jamal Thierry, who added to his goal and an assist in the first game by bagging a hat-trick, taking his tally for the season already to just 4 goals in just 2 games, which caps off a resounding 4-0 win. And it was more of the same in our next game against Paris FC. This time it was Nabil Alioui, Jamal Thierry's strike partner, who decided to get in amongst the goals, giving us the 1-0 lead 5 minutes before half-time, and then adding to that just a few minutes later with his second goal from the penalty spot after being hacked down by the Paris FC defender. Experienced attacking midfielder Alexandre Bonnet also opened his account for the season with yet another assist from Jamal Thierry. That 3-0 win capped off a fantastic start to the season, which saw us sit top of the table on 9 points with a goal difference of 9. Jamal Thierry couldn't stop scoring and even decided to put one in with his arm in this 3-1 win against Niort, which added to the 2 he scored in the 3-1 win over Rodez in the previous game. Remember Stéphane Sessegnon? Well, he opened his account for the club with this absolute screamer in the 88th minute to rescue us a 1-1 draw against SC Bastia. With Alioui struggling for consistency, I decided to add some more firepower to the front line and brought in Nicolas Contin on loan from Argentinian side Gimnasia. Although Jamal Thierry might be the only striker that we need after he was named August Player of the Month with 4 goals and 2 assists in just 4 games. I mean, just look at those numbers. Those are absolutely outrageous. Back to the league then, we took on one of the early season favourites for promotion in Toulouse FC, and Nabil Alioui must have been spurned on by the arrival of Contin, as he went on a rampage and scored twice before Stéphane Sessegnon, yes, that man Sessegnon again, came off the bench to round off a spectacular 3-0 victory against a team who were literally predicted to finish second. But they were no match for Stéphane Sessegnon and the boys, and the 37-year-old continue his hot streak of goal-scoring form in a 2-0 away win against Nancy. Goals were being scored for us from all areas of the pitch as midfielder Hamid Abdelli scored this absolute screamer to help us get a 3-0 win over QRM. Our biggest test of the season so far, though, would come away against Nims, who were the early season favourites for the league title. However, we found ourselves go a goal up in the first half with this absolute wonder strike from long-serving captain Jean-Pascal Fontaine. Absolute perler into the bottom corner. But the joy was short-lived as 10 minutes later Nims did find themselves an equaliser with his lovely little chip over Fofana, and the points were shared, but a very encouraging performance against one of the strongest teams in the league. A 1-1 draw at home to Dijon followed before we travelled to SM Caen, where Jamal Thierry gave us the lead before new signing Nicolas Contin finally opened his account for his new club. The performance was capped off by this fantastic strike from captain Victor Lecao, although I'm sure you can agree the SM Caen goalkeeper probably could have done a little bit better. Oh dear. Next up we took on and our 6'8", 18-year-old centre-back Isaac Toure decided to go a bit goal crazy, bagging 2 goals from 2 corners before captain Victor Lecao, yes, that man again, decided to score yet another screamer with this thunderbolt into the top corner to give us a 4-0 win. A win that saw us go 13 games unbeaten in the league. It's been an unbelievable start to the season so far. However, what followed that run of form was one of our biggest capitulations of the season so far. Despite 2 goals from Isaac Toure and an assist to set up Jamal Thierry to give us a 3-0 lead at half-time, our opponent's Dunkirk came firing out of the traps in the second half and scored 2 back-to-back goals to reduce the deficit to just 3-2. And I'll be honest with you, it was at this point I was starting to absolutely shit myself. Although it looked like we might hold on for all 3 points, in injury time Dunkirk mounted one last attack with a simple ball over our defence that allowed Nian to run onto it, fire past Fofana and complete a spectacular comeback, and leaving me feeling rather salty. Following that rather embarrassing performance, we found ourselves 4 points clear at the top of the table rather than 6. However, there was some good news in that Isaac Toure won Player of the Month with an unbelievable 5 goals in 4 games, with Victor Lacau and Jamal Thierry coming 2nd and 3rd respectively. A clean sweep for the boys. Our next opponents, Vafsi as I like to call them anyway, were comfortably dispatched with 3-0 thanks to goals from Nicholas Contin and Nabil Alioui. And this performance set us up well for our next opponents, which is arguably one of the biggest games of the season so far, as we look to take on Amiens, who find themselves 2nd in the table, just 4 points behind us. And as the next game is a 1st v 2nd affair, I thought why not bring it to you in a live commentary. So let's jump into the game and see how we get on against Amiens. Okay, 1st v 2nd. Let's see if we can maintain. I mean, still unbeaten. If there's anyone who's going to beat us this season, you'd probably think it's the team below us in the table. Hey, Hernandez, great ball over the top, around the back of the defenders. Thierry just puts it wide though. I mean, we're half an hour in, over half an hour in, and almost nothing has happened. We've had a couple of half chances here and there. Not a lot to speak about, as Amiens have got a corner. It's headed clear. Are we able to break from this? We've given the ball straight back to them. Lusamba into Badji, and this is worrying as Bennett goes for goal. Good save, Fofana. That's what you want to see. I mean, we're into half-time. There's not really been an awful lot to write home about, to be honest. It's been a pretty dull first half. We need to get Thierry a little bit more involved, since he is our main man. I mean, still absolutely nothing. Oh, yeah, I'll do 1st v 2nd as a live com. No highlights. What the hell is going on? Alioui is going to come on for Contin, because he's not done an awful lot. Sessegnon is tired, but Bonnet's not playing that well, so I think we'll get Sessegnon in behind the front two, and hopefully he can have a bit of an impact. But yeah, Jamal Thierry on a 6.3, not been his usual self in this game. It's actually going to finish 0-0. I could make subs, but I don't really see the point. Hang on, we've got a free kick. It's a bit far out. It is Roland Hernandez stepping over it. Goes for goal. He forces a good save. Are we going to find a late winner as Lacau? He does score, has a habit of scoring screamers for us. On the edge of the area, is he going to try and shoot? He gives it to Abdelli. Is he going to shoot? Finds Hernandez. On his back's against the wall job here for Amiens. As Bura goes for goal, it's a good save. Can Bar get there? It's blocked and it's not gone in. 1st v 2nd is going to end in a rather dull 0-0 draw, but at least we keep our 4-point lead at the top of the table. Oh, goodness me. Well, I'm so glad I picked that one as a live commentary. Let's get back to see how we've, rounded off the first half of this season with Havre AC. Hopefully, there are some more wins in there for us. Our attention turned then to the French Cup, where after a thrilling 3-3 draw against Sochaux, it went straight to penalties, where Fofana decided to go massive and produce 3 saves to give us the victory. Thankfully, the next round was a lot more comfortable, and after a string of impressive performances, Isaac Toure came to me asking for a new contract, which I thought, do you know what? Yep, fair enough, he's deserved it. So we managed to tie him down for the next couple of years, meaning he is going to be here at least until 2024. We also got confirmation that we had set a new unbeaten record of 18 games, but that was all about to change very quickly. We travelled to Grenoble, and despite taking an early lead, Anani broke through and fired an equaliser into the bottom corner, before in the second half he fell to the floor rather innocuously to win his side a penalty. However, thankfully for us, Perez missed. Nice one! But just a few minutes later, Anani got into the penalty area again, and despite our defender making a perfectly timed tackle, the referee decided to give him another penalty, which Anani this time took and dispatched, condemning us to our first defeat of the season. Annoyingly, we followed that up with a 0-0 draw at home to Ajaccio, before turning our attention back to the French Cup, where once again we were taken to penalties, this time by Amiens, but once again Fofana was the hero as he made the crucial save before Contin dispatched the winning penalty, which set up a rather interesting tie away at Ligue inside Bordeaux in the next round, which I'm sure will be a juicy tie indeed. Rounding off the calendar year then, we travelled to Auxerre, where an hour into the game, Nabil Alioui headed us into the lead, but the dreaded highlight immediately after the goal came, and as you would expect, Auxerre went right up the other end of the pitch to score an equaliser. I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely hate it when this happens. Good header though. The game finished 1-1, the points were shared, and it does seem that in the last few games our form is just starting to tail off a little bit, but thankfully we do still find ourselves at the top of the table with a 2-point lead over Amiens, and a lot of our players were leading the way in terms of stats for the season. Jamal Thierry is currently the top goal scorer, with Ronald Hernandez leading the way in terms of assists. Hernandez, Toure and Mayembo also making up the top 3 in terms of average rating, while Fofana is joint top for most clean sheets. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, that that was the first half of our first season in charge of Le Havre AC, and I think we can all agree it's going pretty well so far. Now, of course, if you have enjoyed today's episode, please remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you do not want to miss any more installments from this Le Havre AC adventure. If the next episode is uploaded by the time you're watching this, I'll make sure to include it on the end screen so you can just click right through and carry on to see how we're doing in our first season. Until then, though, my name's been Breezy. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Au revoir.